Hey, we're back. Again, this is Laura Miller, and this is another exciting, amazing, and informative interactive episode of Sheen Talk Live. Our next guest is already here promptly on time, and we are excited for that. So let me just drop this comment in so we can loop them in. Hey, you guys, I see you there. Go ahead and add yourself in. It seems like my copy and paste did not save, guys. How is everybody doing? Hope you're good. So I'm just adding their handle and my name. Here they come. Hopefully it's loading. It's acting weird. Sorry about that, guys. Just pressing buttons. I gotta know. Oh, thank you, friend. My earrings are from Bold Addictions. Go check it out.
Hey!
Hey! You
What's
see, like
up?
it was working today. I
You
was
know,
like, what? That's
just-
the ugly wall. I don't want to look at that. What are we doing?
Listen, it's always like a coin, a toss-up. You just never know.
Yeah, you never know. It's
But we're with you
insane.
now.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Thank you guys for joining today. How are you?
doing well, doing well. I like that
Good.
plant you have in the background. That's really pretty.
Oh, thank you. You know what? I purposely didn't include the top half of the plant because it's not doing great.
It's struggling like the rest of us.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, with plants, it's not like you spray the top of them. So it's like, I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? It's like dying in one section of the plant, and it's huge. So it's like really weird. It's
Oh man, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So
Talk to it, sing to it or something.
I try. I don't sing like you guys though. So I mean, I kill everybody in the house because I sing anyway. But yeah.
Listen, it's all good.
Yes. So everybody who, yes, Bella baby, it's terrible. It's awful. But for everybody that's not aware who you guys are, this is Juan and Lisa Winans. They are listen. As we talk about legacies, and we've been discussing legacies ad nauseum recently as it relates to the Jordans and like the Jacksons, and then we also have a gospel house of Titans that are
like
the Winans.
Now,
right?
believe it or not, that is a first. Gospel House of Titans. I've never heard that. That's a first.
Listen, for anybody that's like in the Christian community, in the Black Christian community, you know how severe it is to be a vocalist, right? It's
Right.
a serious thing anyway.
Yes.
So then when you incorporate recording stars and a legacy full of heroes, then you guys become Titans. That's how it works.
Listen, I humbly receive it. Thank you.
Yes, you guys should. Like, I want to talk about that so much. We're going to deep dive on all these things. So you guys need to buckle up because we're going to get all the way into it today.
Let's do it. Let's have
I'm
some
excited.
fun.
So here's the thing. First, thank you again for coming.
Thank
Well,
you
thank you
for
for
having
having
us.
us.
How are you holding up in quarantine? You guys are like the happiest couple. I love it. I love happy couples. How y'all doing?
You know, I feel like quarantine is a bit of a roller coaster for me. There'll be days where I'm like, I'm killing quarantine. Like we did homeschool. I worked out. My hair is washed. Like I'm killing it. And then there's days where I'm just like angry and just like this. I hate this. Like I hate everything about this. And it just goes, you know, from day to day. Like I was in the grocery store today and I'm just like, you know, you accidentally go the wrong way in the one-way line. I'm like, I don't, like, this is all new. Every day there's a new thing to adjust to. But I'm grateful that, you know, his mercies are new every morning. And so I'm trying to just balance all the new, you know, Corona-isms and things that we have to adjust to with the fact that he is consistent and he's the same. And
absolutely. It's funny you mentioned that. Like, I remember like thinking about the people at the grocery store that actually had to make the one-way line. I'm like, so how do we determine which aisle should be going this way?
How do we determine?
What if you get confused? Do you have to start over? Like,
Yes. And today I went the wrong way accidentally, and this man was like, gave me this mean look. But then we met around the other side, and he was going the wrong way. I wanted to be like, I see, it's not so easy, is it, sir?
It's like
And I just let it
everything
go.
feels like Great America now, but like at 6 feet apart. So
Yes.
it's like, how did our world turn into Great America? Like
Right.
everything is a Great America line now. Every
Yeah.
single thing.
Everything.
It's insane.
And
So-
survival. It's just
like you said, I feel like that too. And I don't know if you guys have seen Friday After Next or not, but there is a part where Baby Joker says no locked doors, and he like panics because somebody locked the door. I feel like that sometimes. I'm like, I just want my son. It's nuts. That's exactly how quarantine is. And it's like some days I'm like meditating early, and I'm like sitting there. I got my workout done. The kids are smarter and all that. And other days I'm like, please, just let them go to recess or something.
Yeah.
But you're recess.
Right. You're everything.
But I am recess.
You're the PE instructor. Yeah.
Exactly. Like I've said it before, all those people need our flowers. We're giving all those teachers and gym teachers and
For
ladies,
sure.
they're getting good
For
gifts.
sure.
Will we go back to school next year, hopefully?
Yeah. Hopefully. Prayerfully.
Well, that's one of the things that I think quarantine offers us is the opportunity to realign and assess our priorities.
Mm-hmm.
What are the things we as a society, as individuals, as couples, in our relationships, what is it that we actually truly prioritize?
Yeah.
I think we tell ourselves it's one thing, but in a moment like this, we're kind of exposed. And I think teachers are a group of people that we have not as a country prioritized. And I think now we really know, oh my God, they do so much work. They take our kids for 8 to 10, sometimes 12 hours a day. They are underpaid, they're underappreciated. And so I think that this is one of those things that hopefully as we come out of this in our new normal.
I did it again, y'all. You see?
I hope that our new normal esteems teachers and educators more than we have in the past.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I hope so too. Them and like grocery stores.
Man.
Those,
them.
I saw a man, he looked like a conquering hero. He was like pushing the cart with like all the boxes with no mask. He had no fear whatsoever. He was out here. He did not care. He was ready.
Doing,
You can't get into the store without a mask right now.
He was like, I can't breathe. So the mask, he had it on for like several hours, but he's just like lapping aisles with produce and things. And it was like, he was like, I can't.
Oh, yeah. It's like vultures when they come out with the new boxes. It's like you just want to get in there and it's crazy.
Absolutely. See, I already got distracted by you guys being wonderful. And that's kind of how it goes when we listen to your latest single, too.
Thank you.
Segue.
So tell us about that project and how it came about, and again, more about the legacy. How'd that work out with that single?
Well, It Belongs to Me is a song that we started over a year and a half ago. About a year and a half ago, we were driving down the street and God started to give me this melody, these lyrics. And of course, back then, as no one did, we never heard the word coronavirus. I shouldn't say no one, but scientists. But we had never heard of this virus. We're certainly not expecting to put it out now.
Yeah.
But in God's sovereignty, we feel like it's the perfect song for now and beyond this time. But it came about that way as I got the melody and the lyrics. I heard my uncle's voice, my Uncle Marvin singing it. I didn't hear Lisa. I didn't hear myself. I heard his voice as the melody came to me. And I didn't know if that was because like he's just our favorite voice, period.
Oh, he
or if there was like a greater purpose to it. And I think over the course of time, we discovered that there is a greater purpose. We sent him the song.
Yeah.
It took a while for him to respond because I was texting it to him and he's not very phone savvy. So we ended up in Detroit maybe about 4 or 5 months later. And I said, Uncle, how come you never responded about the song I sent you? He said, Juan, I love that song. And he sat down at the piano and he started to play It Belongs to Me. He knew it. He knew the lyrics. And from that moment on, we got Aaron Lindsay involved. Shout out to Aaron Lindsay. I don't know if he's on, but we love you, Aaron.
Yes.
Aaron Lindsay, 6-time Grammy Award-winning producer, songwriter, jumped on with us, made space for us, and really brought this song home. And so for us, I've never worked with my uncle in any sort of musical capacity. Actually, let me take it back. Almost 20 years ago, we did a recording together, but that's a whole other story. It was this really small thing. But it's a dream come true to have him on a song that we wrote, that we got to collaborate on. and it feels like a couple people have called and said, man, this song feels like such a Winans song. And so when you talk about legacy, that wasn't our intent, but it's certainly something that I think God is doing in us and through us to kind of to extend the legacy, if you will, and to keep building and keep glorifying him through music.
Nice. So like when you say you wrote the song and that was the only voice that you heard, as far as you guys' writing process, because I know you do write too, right, Lisa?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
So as far as you guys' writing process, do you hear the songs oftentimes in your voice, or is it a normal thing for you to hear things in other people's voices?
No, that's abnormal for me, at least.
Yes.
And that's what was unique about it, is I've never written a song and heard somebody else singing unless I'm writing for a different person.
Right.
But it starts out with me thinking, okay, well, how would their voice sound good, and what key, what syncopation, what lyric. But never have I gotten a lyric and a melody and heard someone else's voice singing just out the gate directly.
That's surreal.
So that was unique for me. I don't know if maybe Lisa hears.
No, I mean,
I think she writes
songs
songs. She hears my voice.
Yes, there's a song on our Christmas record called "Peace in My Soul" that I started with Juan's voice in mind. I could really hear him singing the song.
Well, that's nice.
But
I was joking, by the way, all of you listeners out there.
No, but unless we're like if it's something that we're writing for somebody else, I'll hear, oh, this would be perfect for so and so, or maybe have a dream artist that I'd like to pitch the song to. But for us, it's typically our voice.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So this question, since I found out I was talking to you guys, is for Lisa specifically.
Okay.
Now, like I said, I sing and I suck. I can hold the note, but I suck, right? You can sing for real, but was there ever a time where you were like nervous to sing around Juan and his family because you're like, these are the Winans, right?
So that's a great question. I was never nervous to sing around Juan because we kind of met, and I was already singing. I was already in Out of Eden. We met. I was writing and producing and doing that, so we kind of knew each other, you know, as artists. However, I remember having to sing. We sang the prayer for his sister Deborah Joy's wedding. And the entire Winans family was there. So we're talking Auntie Cece, Pastor Marvin, Uncle BB. And I was so nervous. And of course, they're all like really, really kind and encouraging and all that kind of stuff. But I managed to get through that. But when we were in the studio, it was a whole nother thing. I mean, Pastor Marvin was right there. He's giving me suggestions and, you know, why don't you try this and do this? And I'm like, yeah, I would love to try that and do that, but I'm not you and I can't do that. But God bless you. And I was so nervous. I really couldn't sing anything worth keeping until he left.
I get it. I would listen. I would be like, I wouldn't even master a hand clap around.
Yeah,
I'd be comfortable just like with a tambourine. Like,
don't
exactly. Don't even
like,
give it to me. I don't know.
I'll bring you some water.
Yeah,
how about you do that?
Let me cheerlead in the back. I will champion for you in the pews. Thank you.
There you go.
Can you play tambourine? Can you play some tambourine?
I can actually. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you know, it's the easiest thing, but I directed like growing up in choirs and stuff like that.
Nice.
So, you know, you got to be an ostentatious person to like direct the choir. So like, it took a lot for me to like open up, but then I had to be in my, you know, director like vein. I had to be that person. So like, it's a completely different personality than my normal one. But yeah, no.
Well, just so you know, you have something in common with Deborah Joy, who I know has been on the cover of Sheen, and we, Deborah Joy, that's my sister, Deborah Joy.
Look at y'all, I appreciate that.
I want you to know that Joy was a young directress, probably about 10 to, maybe about 9 to 12 or so. She directed the youth choir, and so you have this in common. It does take a certain personality. I feel like now I know a little bit more about you.
Yeah.
Now that I know that you kind of played that role.
Yeah, see, there we go. Yes, y'all, read me while I'm learning.
Can you shout? Can you shout?
Listen, it took me like 4 years.
I can't.
It took me like 4 years to learn the squalor.
Okay.
I was like, one day, like it happened on accident. I was like, what? I was like, oh my God. So like you said, trust me, it's a thing.
The accidental squall.
Yeah,
That's
like
funny.
it was an accidental one. So yeah,
That's so
it works
funny.
out. But so Juan, I mean, that question could also apply to you too. I mean, you're third generation Winans, so like that's
Yeah.
pregnant.
There have been maybe a couple of moments where I'm not so much nervous, but you just realize so this is my family, but I also realize I'm in the company of some really phenomenally talented people.
Yes.
And I have a great amount of respect and admiration for that. And to be honest, there is a healthy amount of competition in our family. I'll just say that. And that is, I'm trying to be eloquent in saying that.
So
I will
it's
tell
healthy,
you,
not actually the word that you would really use.
well,
Healthy is a euphemism.
It is a word, but I think I mean healthy in quantity,
Yeah.
not so much quality.
Okay.
But
okay.
it is
Significant.
It is-
Significant amounts.
yeah, a lot of competition. But I think it's made us. It's all done in love and in fun, and it really has strengthened us. I think it sharpens you. I think it makes you better. It gives you like this motivation to go in and work and practice and rehearse and get better with the natural ability and talent that God has given us. And so there have been moments where I'm fueled by some of that. And I've been on stage with BB more than any of my other uncles, and really even my dad. And we kind of have this thing where we can go back and forth and enjoy that camaraderie. But at the end of the day, I know I'm singing with BB Winans, and I'm completely fine with that. And some days I feel like, hey, I think maybe I got the better of you. But that's every now and then. I hope that somebody places for BB. BB, there have been moments where I feel like I outsang you on stage.
Okay,
Talk about
yeah,
that
so
later.
we need you guys to make sure you record that.
Clap back.
And we
I feel
put,
a phone call coming.
yes, we're gonna cut that and reprocess it. We gotta start. Yeah, I want
Leave
to
that
see
in
what
there.
happens
Leave it in.
after
I'm not
that.
scared. Leave it in there.
Oh no! That's what I'm saying. We're gonna make it a G5 clip, and we're gonna.
Oh, it's
run
about to be
it
like a meme. I got it.
We're gonna run it. Yeah, I
Run
want to
it.
start. I want to see what happens. I do. I definitely want to see what happens with it.
Messy.
You just as messy as I am.
I mean, you started it. I was ready for it. That's how we're gonna do this.
Let's do it.
You've also even played BB Winans too.
I have. So BB called me in 2014. We had just come back from vacation, and my phone rings. It's BB, and we're talking. And he says, "Hey, I'm doing this musical. It's about my, life with Cece, our career, how we started at PTL in like 1981." And so Joy is playing Cece. The guy I had playing BB just dropped out. Will you come to? I think it was Boston. Will you come to Boston next week? And it was like in 3 days. And just fill in for him.
Wow.
He said, I know you don't know the lines, but at least I know you know the songs and you can sing the songs because it is a musical. And so I was like, it's not really my thing. Hung up. So let me think about it. Lisa was in the car. I was serious. And Lisa said, no, you should do it. At minimum, you get to go hang out with Joy for a week. And at this point, I'm in North Carolina. My sister's in LA, where she's been for many years now. And I thought, it'll be fun. Let me just do it for that reason. I love Joy. We're really close. And so I go to hang out. And 4 years later, 2 years later, we were opening up in Atlanta, Georgia at the Alliance Theater. And I was in this role, and something I'd never done before, never done theater, never acted on stage or really in any capacity. But it was an amazing ride. And I'm so grateful to BB for that phone call, to Charles Randolph Wright, who's the director of Motown on Broadway. He's one of the writers and the director of the show. And I met amazing people, had an amazing experience. I learned a lot from Joy, actually. She has a master's in fine arts. And so we had this thing of, I would help her with some of the singing. She would help me with a lot of the acting. And we just went from there, and we had a blast.
Nice.
Amazing experience, yeah.
That's pretty cool. So listen, guys, here's the thing about you guys and your wonderfulness. Joy, we're going to have a conversation, her and I, about her character on Greenleaf.
Oh, yes.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Charity drives me a little crazy.
I just have to remind myself how wonderful Joy is,
yes.
and how loyal she is in real life, and how fiercely she loves her family. She would kill somebody for her family. And she's absolutely nothing like
she's a little
Dear
different on the show.
Charity. Yeah,
I'm happy about that.
Yeah, and I have to tell myself that when I'm watching it. Sometimes we watch it and she's right there beside me, and I just have to look over and be like,
did you just say that?
It's a character. Yeah, it's a character. No, people call us, will text and be like, what in the world is Charity doing, and like going off? And I'm like, hey, this is a television show. Let's keep it in perspective.
Yeah.
Listen, dramas, be them prime time or daytime, people take them extremely serious.
Yes.
People forget that they're like actually playing a character instead of real people. Because I can tell you personally, I didn't like Lawrence Fishburne again until The Matrix.
From what to what? What
from What's Love Got to Do with it?
Oh,
no. I was like, no, buddy, I'm sorry. I don't even want to go to this movie. I'm not buying this ticket.
Yeah.
And then The Matrix came and I'm like, okay.
But that speaks to the writing. It speaks to the actor and their ability. I think Joy is phenomenal. She's phenomenal. And to do that, like, we've had conversations where she's explaining to me where Charity is coming from, and I'm like slow blinking, but she's like had to figure out a way to be compassionate, to have compassion for this character and for what they're going through. And you can see that she really believes, that she is somehow, she gets the short end of the stick in the family, and therefore is justified. But she's amazing.
She's like, I don't buy it. No,
but I'm glad that I'm not alone in this. And like, even you, Lisa, struggle with it, and you know her as a person. Don't look at it, because I'm like, Charity, I'm gonna punch you.
I know it's coming. It's coming back.
June.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the last
I can't wait.
I am going to be glued every episode. Trust and believe that. So here's the thing. You guys are a musical couple, but you are a couple in real life life partners.
Real life. Yes.
What made you lovely people decide that you wanted to work together all the time with no breaks?
No breaks is hilarious.
Yeah. It's one of those things where we met writing songs.
Yeah.
That's really the beginning of our relationship. I moved to Nashville in 2004 and started going to the church that Lisa attended. Became friends actually with Lisa's sister first and a group of other friends, and we started hanging out. And eventually, I would see Lisa often in church, and I would think, man, who is that? She's always coming in late and kind of leaving early. She was one of those saints.
I was working.
Why you do her like that?
I learned later that she was working. She was actually doing a lot of theater in Nashville. Okay. And so, on Sunday, you don't really get a break. So she had to leave. But one of these days, she didn't have anywhere to go. And we all ended up going out to eat. And we talked about songwriting. We talked about Out of Eden. We talked about Phase 2. And we just kind of made a date. I at that point was like, I think this is my angle. This is my end. And so we made a date to write songs along with a buddy of mine, and we started writing. So that was the foundation of us coming together.
Yeah, and then we started, we were both leading worship. Well, he was leading worship at our church first. I was, I was reluctant to get up there, but I did. We started leading worship together, singing together. And so it felt like very much the natural kind of course, like God was just directing us to do this together. But for music, it feels like a long time coming, I think. We put out the Christmas record last year, and I just feel like we are finally stepping into just another level of purpose and another portion of what God has for us to do, which is really exciting after 13 years being together to kind of venture into this new territory. It's fun.
13 years is a long time.
Yes.
13 years married in September. Yep.
Yes. So did you guys have like a longer engagement, or you got married fairly? See, because Juan seems like a very I know what I want type of guy.
Look at you.
So see, because I told he started the No Lisa because he said he was reading me because I was a choir director. So
so
No, respect. You are absolutely right. That we did not have a long engagement. We got engaged in June and married in September.
Yes, we had a long we dated for a year and a half.
That's not a long time.
And we did I guess it's not that long. We did our premarital counseling before we got engaged, so our engagement was like lightning fast.
Yeah.
And I wore a
Super
very
fast.
tight dress so that no one would think that it was like a shotgun situation. I was like, this stomach is flat. You hear me?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh no, trust me, that's the thing though. But seriously, she's telling the truth. That's
You know,
people.
But I'm one of those people where I'm like, I don't care what people think. Like, we know what we're doing, what we're not doing more specifically.
Yeah, that's true. But you know that good church people do tend to
Listen,
whisper.
the church people gonna talk.
They
Yeah.
whisper.
So
Just look good though.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, like, what do you learn about each other? What's the latest, most recent thing that you've learned about each other?
that's, you know,
Ooh.
I would say the most recent thing I think that we're learning, or that I'm learning, is something that I already knew, but quarantine kind of magnifies it. For me, just the need to be alone. When Juan and I were dating, we visited some really, you know, like my family. I call them my play family.
No, why don't take that personally?
I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna fix it.
I'm learning that I actually don't want to be with you.
No, that's not what she means.
I'm gonna fix it. And so we went to Dallas, Texas, to hang out with my family, my play family, my play Italian family, and they got to meet Juan and just kind of vet him a little bit. And we've probably been together for maybe 6 months at this time. And I left. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be right back. He's like, where are you going? I was like, I'm gonna go to Starbucks. He's like, you're gonna leave me here? I was like, yeah, I need to be alone. Like I
need to go to Starbucks.
Yeah, I gotta go to Starbucks. But then you kind of morph together and you meld together, and you don't have, so, you know, for him as well, like he's an introvert, I'm an introvert. But this quarantine has just kind of magnified, like, oh wait, we both need, you know, time away just to kind of recharge. So he goes on long walks, I go for runs, and we just kind of have some distance from everybody in the house, and then we can come back and kind of be, you know, ourselves again.
Yeah, I completely understand it. I have a friend of mine, and we, you know, married women, we like to talk sometimes. And she was telling me, like, I find that my trips to Target are extremely long. And I always have to go by myself.
Always.
Yeah. Do what you gotta do.
But
and
see,
she's like,
normally,
personal items. She's like, I'm going to buy hygiene products. And then she like stays for 2 hours.
See, that would be something that I would normally like to do. Like, I like browsing, but now I get in the store and I'm just anxious. I'm just like,
yes,
how
absolutely.
quickly can I get in here and get out? So, you know, we have a nice trails nearby. So we, you know, go take long walks. And
yeah, for sure. That was definitely a pre-quarantine Target run.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think everybody goes in and out now. We're just like, the list is so itemized now. It's like, we know exactly what we need in here, and we're going to get it and get up out of here.
And if you forget something, you're just like, I can't get in line. Like, I can't. It's just, that's just it. We're just not going to have that.
Just forget it. Forget the water. We don't even need it. We'll boil the water. Don't even worry about it. So you guys have been in quarantine creating music, I'm sure, right?
Yes.
Yes, in quarantine creating music. Also just trying to have some fun. We have a 9-year-old daughter, Sophia. And so we're painting, we're drawing, we're building
baking.
things.
I think they froze. Are you guys still here? Did I freeze? Or did you guys freeze? We'll find out shortly. Let's see what I can do about that. Hopefully they come back in frame, guys. Oh no. We lost them. Juan and Lisa, come back here. Here they come.
Sorry about that.
I'm not sure what happened.
No worries. We're here.
But I was saying we have a 9-year-old, and so we've kind of engaged in myriad of artistic projects.
Yeah.
And but we also are creating new music, to answer your question.
Yeah.
Nice. I enjoy that too. My daughter is 5. So
Oh, sweet.
Nice. You have one?
No. I have a 12-year-old that's voice is deeper than my husband's, and he's 6 feet tall.
Oh
wow.
my gosh, at 12?
Oh,
At
so
12.
you at the grocery store all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
I got it. I feel it.
it's the worst thing ever. But yeah, no, I really do enjoy it. It's like I find myself getting lost in the coloring projects and like painting with her. It's like the most serene experience for some reason. I didn't even know, because I was a boy mom for so long, that I didn't know that I could like enjoy girly stuff so much. Like it's like, wow, this is amazing. Let's get more glitter. Like it was
Right.
No more wrestling, huh?
No. Well, no. He's all about basketball now. You know, that's the worst thing you can do to a kid in quarantine. They're closed. So he's handling it as best as he can, you know?
Yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine that has boys, and, you know, the girls, they get on FaceTime, they get on their Zooms. You know, we've done virtual movie nights with Sophia's friends. But the boys, they love to connect physically and just play. Like, they don't do a lot of talking. It's like, let's play basketball, let's play soccer. So she was saying it's a lot different for her boys.
Yeah, it is. It stinks. But I want to know more about this new music, and also maybe if you guys are willing to sing something.
Yes and yes. So It Belongs to Me is just the first single off of a project we're putting together now. And we're really excited about it. If you're listening and you don't have it, Juan and Lisa Winans, It Belongs to Me, featuring the one and only Pastor Marvin L. Winans.
Yes.
Go stream it wherever you buy music, pick it up. We believe that not only now, but that this song will continue to bless you, to continue to kind of provide hope and peace. And I think this quarantine is allowing us the opportunity to really figure out what our identity is and what it's going to be moving forward. Where do we find security? And so God's word has so many promises for us. Absolutely. And this song just kind of starts to take us through the blessing, the peace, the freedom, the prosperity, all of the things that God has desired and designed for us to live in and experience. We're trying to communicate that in this song. And so our prayer is that when you hear the song, you feel the power, the presence, and the love of God. And that you can make it through not just this season, but all of the seasons that are inevitably coming. You know, even after quarantine is up, we're still going to have marriages and still be parents and still have decisions to make, right? And so we need God's presence, we need his power, and we need to understand his love for us, even as we move out of this season.
I love that. I did feel that, though. It felt like so contemporary gospel has kind of changed. There's ebb and flow to it, right? So there's not, you know, it's not hymnal based anymore. You know, our music is a little different now, but I did feel a energy that is more timeless than anything. Excuse me, guys. I live near a hospital.
Oh, no trust me, you understand.
I always tell everybody, thank you. I do that too. I tell everybody, I'm like, put praying hands up. We hope they're okay, because I do live in a hospital, right? Yeah. But yeah, no, it just feels like a real, honest, and genuine place. Because a lot of times, you know, we don't want to make it too, you know, we want to make it good enough for everybody to understand. But like a lot of times, gospel music can be so contemporary that it has no feeling.
Yeah, and that was one of our endeavors in writing this, is that and I'm so glad that you picked up on the hymnal kind of quality of it. And it's written in stanzas versus verse, chorus, like that sort of, and it has a refrain, which is a very old school and traditional way of writing hymns and gospel songs. And so that's how I heard it. And to be honest, there is a temptation to diverge from that and try to do something that feels more relevant or right now, what's on the radio. But I'm glad that we didn't. We just did what God kind of instructed us to do. And took that dictation. And I think we have something that people will be blessed by.
I love that. Wait, let me sit back, because we're going to get, hold on.
She's like,
take it away.
Segue.
Take it away, guys.
Oh, we're singing this right now.
Yeah.
Got it. It belongs to me. Salvation belongs to me. And I have everything to make salvation complete. I know the work is already done. By the power of his blood, I know it's mine. It belongs to me. We modulate. Hey, it belongs to me. Healing belongs to me. And I have everything to make my healing complete. It doesn't matter how I feel. When his stripes say I am healed, I know it's mine. It belongs to me. That's a little sample, a little snippet.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
I got chills. I got goosebumps everywhere.
And we start talking about every blessing. There's a scripture in 2 Peter that says every divine blessing comes from God. He has it for us. It's reserved for us.
Yes.
And ultimately, we talk about heaven, to spend eternity with our Creator, our God, our friend, in Christ Jesus. And so, yeah, it belongs to you. Be encouraged.
Yes. And I think that's why gospel, and I always tell people, like, I am a gospel trap girl. I will go from like a good, I will go from a good gospel song, like I will be Richard Smallwood one moment and then Young Jeezy the next moment. That's just what kind of person I am.
Listen,
right?
I want to encourage you because you won't have to switch artists when you hear our record.
Yeah.
You'll hear It Belongs to Me, and then you might flip over to the next track, and it's,
Yeah, I want that vibe.
We're going to give it all to you.
See, yes. But I like gospel because it's so innately positive. And I feel like even if it's a non-believer, the messaging is just so powerfully positive that I feel like it resonates to a giant demographic that unfortunately haven't been exposed to it because they're shying away because of the religious thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because the gospel, essentially, it's the good news of Jesus Christ. And
Absolutely.
his message is worldwide. It's international. It reaches every person where they are because we all have a hole that God is ready to fill. And so I think with gospel music, we did a gospel brunch as a fundraiser for our daughter's school. And there were people there that had never stepped foot in church before. And they, came up to us after Auntie Cece came and sang. And they were like, what was that? What just happened? I've never felt that. I've never, literally a brand new experience feeling the presence of God. And so that's what music is able to do, what gospel music is able to do. And right now, we all need hope. We all need peace. There's so much stress and anxiety out there. So hopefully our song and the many other gospel songs out there can really encourage people.
I know it will. We have a lady in here that is in tears right now.
Oh.
You guys are just, don't cry. As long as they're happy tears, it's okay though.
Yes, praise God. Amen. God is good.
But I think you guys are right. And then like you said, what Cece sings like, her voice is like an actual instrument.
Yes.
And I think that's also an inherently Winans thing that you guys have. And Lisa, you have it too. You guys just sound like, you know how they do the pitch thing with the glass.
Oh,
That's, you guys have strong, distinctive voices like that. Like,
thank you.
It's just a vocal purity that I think that a lot of people are just not that blessed to have.
Praise God.
Wow. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's very, very kind.
So I thank you guys for coming because, like I said, we could talk about a lot of things. We could talk about 9-year-olds. We could talk about daycare. We could go back to the grocery store because we was hitting that pretty hard. We could talk about anything. But I want to thank you guys for joining us, and I really thank you for singing because it was amazing.
Oh, thank you so much.
Well, thank you all. And if you have Spotify, if you have Apple Music, whatever you have on your phone or your computer, go check out It Belongs to Me. We are confident that God will use this song to bless you. And just, hey, whatever you're listening to, make sure you stay encouraged.
Yes.
Make sure you realign if you have to realign. Make sure you recommit if you need to recommit. And be kind to one another, because we all need it, whether it's the grocery store, the post office, wherever you are. We're praying for you, and show somebody some love.
That's right.
Yes. Also, I'm gonna try to get that clip so we can gas you up.
Oh, you talking about me?
Yeah, since you gassed
Send it to me. I'll
today,
send it to him personally.
Yeah, we're gonna get that together. We're gonna work that out. Okay, well, thank you guys again for joining us.
Thank you so much, Laura. This was
Thank you for
awesome.
having us.
No problem. Have a wonderful day and enjoy your weekend, okay?
You too.
Stay healthy.
All right, you too. Bye.
Bye.
They were amazing. Listen, we're going to come back at the top of the next hour. And ironically, since we were discussing Greenleaf, we get to discuss Greenleaf in full length on the next episode. And if you missed parts of this live, don't worry. It will be available on our IGTV shortly. Hi there. Thank you guys for joining. Again, this is Laura Miller with Sheen Talk Live. We will be back in a bit. Talk to you soon. Bye.